my reviews fade, the comets dim, all that remains are memories. I remember a time of hot toys, sideshow collectibles, this wasted money. But most of all, I remember the road warrior, the man we called Max. To understand who he was, you have to go back to another time when the world was powered by the 1/6 market, and yet no company would attempt to make a Mel Gibson road warrior figure. Gone now, swept away. For reasons long forgotten, three mighty figure companies all announced Mel Gibson figures at the same time, and touched off a blaze that engulfed all our wallets.
Quiet! No more games. No more games.
Today's review will be on the premier toys Wasteland Gladiator 1/6 scale figure. Otherwise known as Mel Gibson as Max Rockatansky from the movie Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. Now, The Road Warrior is one of my all-time favorite movies, top 10 to be sure, and you know what? I have watched it a million times and love it every time. And to say that I've been wanting a Mel Gibson Road Warrior figure, well, that would be a major understatement. Looking at the front of this box, I absolutely love the artwork, and man, oh man, I cannot wait to look inside this box. But first, let's look at the back of the box. Looking at the back of the box, and you can definitely tell it stays spent in the wasteland. We're not too kind to the box. Apparently it had been run over at some point, judging from that tire track. Down here, there's a warning saying stay out of the wasteland. And you remember the scene where Mel Gibson discovers the little music box and he's so happy he kind of cracks a smile? That's how I felt discovering this little drawing of the Interceptor at the bottom of the box. That is absolutely awesome. Now, when this figure was first announced, I was so happy because I had been waiting for so long to get my hands on a 1/6 scale Mel Gibson Road Warrior figure. Man, Into Toys was supposed to put one out a long time ago, and they never did, and my heart's been broken ever since. So when this was announced, I had to have it. Now, the problem was, three companies all decided to put out their own versions of a Mel Gibson Road Warrior figure, and they were all announced within about a week of each other. Man, talk about crazy. There was no Mel Gibson Road Warrior figures, and then all of a sudden you got three to choose from? Holy cow! You had the Dark Toys Max. You had the Mad Warrior, made by Present Toys. And then you had this one, the Wasteland Gladiator, made by Premier Toys. And I'm not gonna lie, I ordered all three. I had to. And this is the first one that shipped, and I've had it sitting here for over a month or so, man, and I've been dying to open it. So I say we waste no more time, and I say we open it! Now, the box opens like a shoebox, and when you remove the lid and look underneath, you find the figure in a big plastic tray. Now, this thing is super glossy, so it's hard to show off, but man, it looks awesome so far. Another thing that's awesome is they put that little drawing I liked on the little paper insert. That is so cool. Down here, you can see a little bit more of the figure and some of its accessories, and man, I cannot wait to open this, so let's pull it out of this tray, shall we? Oh, and it's worth noting that there are actually two trays, that larger one on top and this smaller one on bottom. And check this out. You've got his doggy, and that looks so awesome. Man, I have wanted a Road Warrior figure for so long, and seeing his dog in 1/6 scale makes me so happy. I'm so happy to get this because only two of the companies out of the three actually include a dog. And man, this is so cool. So let's pull all this out of the tray and see what it looks like. So, here's the Wasteland Gladiator fresh out of the package, and I gotta say, I am very happy with it. Now, this figure will not be for everybody. There'll be those people out there that complain it doesn't look enough like Mel Gibson. You'll have the others that complain it's not exact in every detail. But if you're just a guy like me who's been wanting a 1/6 scale Road Warrior figure, yeah, this checks all the boxes, and I think it looks awesome. Now, remember what I said, too. There's going to be three companies releasing Road Warrior figures. So if you don't like this one, you can just wait and pick out the one you like the best out of the three. Or heck, mix and match parts from all three. That's why I ordered all three, because I want to get the best Mel Gibson head. I want to get the best body. I want to get the best outfit, best accessories. And I guess that's the only way to do it. But looking at this head, I'm very happy with it for the first release. I mean, it looks good. Like I said about the Blade Runner figure I just reviewed, you see this guy standing on your shelf, you know exactly who this is supposed to be. He's got the short, messy hair. He's got the gray streak in his hair there. He is missing, speaking of details that are missing, He is missing the eyebrow scar on his right eyebrow, but that's a little detail most people don't even notice. He's got his blue eyes. He's got the scruff. That looks awesome. Working our way down here to his outfit, another inaccuracy is they gave him a black shirt instead of a dark brown shirt, but that's okay. Another thing that's missing is he's missing his little ID tag underneath his lapel on the left side. And, you know, that's another little detail most people even miss out on. Working our way down here, looking at his coat. Now, his coat is made, his coat and pants are made out of very thin material. I did not expect it to be that thin. If you're worried about this kind of material flaking in, you know, hot temperatures and stuff, I don't know how well this will hold up, but it is very, very thin. Doesn't feel like too thin, but it just felt a lot thinner than I thought it would be. I love the zipper. The zipper looks in scale. The little zip part doesn't, but, you know, the zipper itself, I love that. Used to, back in the day, they never got the scale right on zippers, and that looks really good. Another little inaccuracy is the little sleeve over here that's cut. It should be cut at an angle and not straight across, but that's not a big deal. Back here, he's got his little gas dabber looking like a Ninja Turtle bandana. That's pretty awesome. You can see his arm there. Now, the body they used is very hard plastic. It's kind of got a rubbery neck up here. It's not as soft as you think it would be, but his arm is definitely hard plastic there and could look a lot more realistic, but no big deal. Got his glove there. Now, the glove details are spot on. The way the holes are on the knuckles, and he's got the finger parts missing. If you look at the back of the glove, you'll see they've even got the tear on the palm, and that is awesome. And looking at the left glove, you'll see that they made it like in the movie, and they didn't just copy the one on the other side. That is cool. Now, as you can see, he's got that strap that connects to his belt down here. Now, there's nothing to attach the strap to at the top and hold it into place, so it's very loose sometimes and will slide over his shoulder. But that happens to him in the movie too, so I guess it's screen accurate. Down here, you've got his little monkey wrench hanging off of a chain, and that is really awesome. Now, something that's sorely missing is he's missing his British Army knife that he uses as a can opener that hangs off of his belt right next to that little monkey wrench. So I don't know why that's missing, but oh well. And there's nowhere here to attach the binoculars to. I don't know how you're supposed to attach them. I don't know if you're supposed to just wrap the cord around it or what, but I don't know. Now, if you look there, you see this little strap? Well, that is like sewed or glued down or whatever to the back of the belt. Now, that creates a problem because you'll see that the leather pouches for his firefighting tools, the axe and the hydrant spanner, are on the back part of his belt. Well, that strap, as you see, connects the same way. It's like sewn down or glued down to the back of the belt. Well, those pouches are a bit too close. This big one should be a little bit more off to the side over here, and this one should be a little bit closer to the center. And you can't move them past that, because if you try to, undo the belt and feed them through the belt past the straps, they can't get past this part here, and they can't get past the one on the front. So that's about as good as you can get it. They have to be kind of overlapping a little bit like that. So that kind of sucks, but oh well. Down here at the bottom, you'll see that it's got the little holes in the bottom of the pouches where the tools can poke out, and that is awesome indeed. Next to those pouches on the belt, you have his shotgun holster. Now this looks good. It's weathered, but it's very inaccurate to the movie. Now in the movie, it's black with studs and stuff on it. And yeah, this doesn't really look like it. Now, that top strap, the dark brown strap, should be up a little higher next to his crotch, and that lower one, I think it's really cool that they caught the detail that the lower one is a lighter color leather. That is very cool. But yeah, the shotgun holster is functional, but it's not like in the movie. It's not exactly the same. Now, if you look there at his pants, they're held closed with Velcro. Now, when I got this out of the box, his t-shirt was actually hanging out underneath the jacket and over the top part of the pants. And that's not really screen accurate, because whenever he moves around in the movie, it almost looks like he doesn't have a shirt on at all under there. You always see kind of his midriff and his the back part above his butt. But it's good that the shirt's there, but it's almost like it's a little too long, and I just tucked it in underneath his pants there. Now, speaking of the pants, they got his pockets and everything, so that's awesome. And yeah, his pants look really good. They're made out of the same thin material. Now, his leg brace here is made out of plastic and was majorly messed up when I pulled it out of the box. This little piece down here underneath the curved part of his foot was sticking straight down, which went down further than his heel, which made him stand at a weird angle. But yeah, if you get it under the right angle like that, it works. Now, you can't move it up any higher than that, because this silver bracket right up here is actually glued down. You can see the glue right there. I don't know why they did that, because I always thought that silver bracket part there was like up here near the leather part of his boot. It depends on what scene you see. Sometimes it's above his boot, sometimes it's on his boot. And you know what? I mean, I could be wrong, but I didn't think it was that low. And if you could just move it up a little bit further, it would probably work better, but that's okay. It's a small gripe. Got his knee pad there glued on. There's no strap or anything holding it into place. Now his, as you can see there, one of the little pieces popped out from the hole. This happened up here at the top when I moved it around. It's really easy to pop it back in. And I honestly think a little dab of glue would probably hold that better. There, it's fixed. Now, like I said, that's going to happen if you move it around too much, if you manhandle the figure, so be prepared. Like I said, a little dab of glue underneath there would probably fix it, but man, you got to get it right on the first try. Looking at his boots, and man, they look awesome. Now, there's going to be people out there that complain that they're made out of hard plastic, and there's no articulation there at the ankle, but honestly, form over function, they look really good. Now, looking at those little straps, man, they got those screen accurate perfect. I have been wanting one of those boot straps forever. Since I first saw the Road Warrior, I wanted some of these little spiky straps that he's got on his boots. Man, if anybody's got any of those, send them to me. I will take them. That is awesome. Looking at the boot, you can see it's got some weathering there. That is so cool. Now, up here, he's got his little knife holster. Now, it's attached via a string, which they've just kind of got tied around his leg. Now, I don't remember anything like that in the movie. I guess you could just poke those strings down into the hole there. And I thought he just kind of had his knife tucked in his boot, but I don't know. Guess he's got a holster in there somewhere. Looking at the figure from behind, you can see his messy hair, and you can also notice that this figure has a pretty little head. I don't know. When I saw it compared to my Tom Hardy Road Warrior figure that I've got, yeah, his head looks really small here, but honestly, it's not that noticeable from the front, but from behind, it definitely looks small. Down here, you've got his football pad thing that he's got on his shoulder, and that looks really good. Now, the front of it doesn't come down quite as far as it should. It should come down a little bit more, but it could just be the angle that it's put on there. Maybe it should be adjusted a little bit better. But yeah, that looks awesome. Man, it's so cool to see the Road Warrior in 1/6 scale form. I don't care if it's perfect in every way. I am very happy. Over here, another detail that's missing. He's missing his little zipper on the back of his left sleeve. For some reason, they left that off. And then back here, you got his pants. And yeah, you can see the straps there. You could probably tighten those down a little bit more so they're not so loose and dangly. But yeah, this looks really good. As for his accessories, these first three are head scratchers, no pun intended. You've got this hand here, which looks like it could be used for scratching his head, this hand here for holding something, and then this hand here, which has a trigger finger. Now, if you notice, none of these hands have any glove detail. They're all bare hands. And they're all right hands. He doesn't include a bare left hand, which is weird because in the movie, he never takes off his right glove, but he does take off his left glove, so that's kind of strange. I don't know why they gave you three bare right hands. Next up is his boot knife, a Gerber Mark II. And what's cool about this knife is that's the exact same knife that Bishop uses in Aliens when Hudson asks him to do the thing with the knife.
That wasn't funny, man.
Next up are the firefighting tools that he keeps on the back of his belt. You've got a hatchet and you've got a hydrant spanner. Now, he never uses these in the movie, so we never really get a good view of them like this. And I couldn't tell you if this hatchet is 100% accurate. I think it is based on some of the props I've seen people, use for like cosplay and things like that. But the handle of it, the wood part, is way too long. It should go about halfway down and then break off or be curved off or something like that. I remember when I first saw the movie a long time ago, I remember thinking that he had a little shovel or something back there, but apparently it's an axe. Another item that he keeps on his belt are these binoculars, although I couldn't tell you how to put these on his belt, but you know what? It's nice to know he came with them. They look exact to me in every detail. They look really good. The lenses down here are just painted glossy black, but yeah, they look very dirty looking. And will serve their purpose until he gets his hands on the gyro captain's telescope, that is.
Phrasing?
Next up is the Road Warrior's double barrel shotgun, and that looks so awesome. As you can see there, there's a break where you can open it up and put these two shells inside. I'm sure one of those is a dud, though. But duds or not, they look really good inside of that gun. Lastly, and by far the best accessory, Max's only companion, the blue heeler Australian cattle dog, known only as Dog. And you know what? This is awesome. As you can see there, they got the details of his fur perfect. He's got the little red bandana. Now that should be more like a bandana. It's just kind of a strip of cloth, but you know what? That serves its purpose. Up here at the face, now the dog actually had more like darker pattern around his eyes and a little bit on his ear and stuff. But you know what? I don't care. This looks enough like him and makes me happy. They even painted his little claws there on his feet. That is so cool. Looking at him from behind, they got his tail right and everything. Man, this is so awesome because I cannot picture Max without this dog. And this is such a great accessory to get. Just don't get between this cute face and a can of dinky-dyed dog food. So, here's the Wasteland Gladiator all geared up. And I gotta say, I am very happy with this figure. Is it perfect? No. But you know what? I think he looks awesome. Now, I learned a few things while putting this figure together. Number one, he doesn't come with a gloved trigger finger hand. That's weird. So he can only hold a shotgun in this kind of weird, awkward pose. So I thought, well, I'll just have his hand by his side and put his shotgun inside of that holster. Well, that holster is very tight. That gun barely fits in there. I got it almost to the bottom, and then noticed that lighter colored strap there kind of popped off. It's only glued onto the back of the holster. So yeah, it was way down here around his boot. And I was like, what is that? So I had to glue that back on, and I just kind of gave up using the holster. I figure him holding it like this doesn't look that bad. I mean, it could be a lot worse. Another thing that I learned is how to put his binoculars on his belt. So there you go. That's how you do it. You just kind of wrap the straps around it. Another thing I learned is while putting these tools in here, which this one on this side, oh my God, that's a tight fit. Man, I felt like I was going to rip it. Oh, this one went in easy peasy. That one, very hard. But those little, I don't know, gold buttons, those are actually magnets. So yeah, the little flaps are held down with magnets because I noticed when I closed this one, it was like click, and I was like, oh, what the heck? So yeah, I thought that was very awesome. But yeah, this figure, I like it. I mean, could it be better? Sure. But you know what? I've got a Road Warrior figure now, and I am very happy with it. Although, that's not to say that I didn't already have a 1/6 scale Mad Max figure. It's just that's not the Road Warrior. That's the one from Fury Road. And you know what? I think they look awesome together. Now, this figure over here is a third-party figure as well, and obviously I had to modify it because it wasn't perfect either. I gave him a new head, and I think this is a base from another figure. But you know what? Seriously, I still like him, and I think he looks great. It's just this is the Road Warrior. And you know what? I think he looks awesome. So, there's my review of the Premier Toys Wasteland Gladiator 1/6 scale figure. And man, he is awesome. Like I said, is the figure perfect? Of course not. But you know what? I love it anyways. I think that if you're a Mad Max fan, I think you'll get a kick out of this figure. Is there going to be a better one? Who knows? There's going to be 3 to choose from, so probably one's going to be better than the others. But you know what? I think this one looks great. And if you want to get a Mad Max figure, as far as I know, this is the only one that's shipping so far. So until next time, tune in for more food reviews.
You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
Hey, this is Nolan North. You don't want to miss Foo Reviews.